The South African Human Rights Commission has instituted legal proceedings against DA MP Renaldo Gouws. This after a deleted video posted 16 years ago surfaced, where he appears to be using the K and N words. He's also heard calling for the killing of black people. The Commission's Eileen Carter says they've approached the Equality Court to address the matter.
So in terms of the prescripts, it is trite that the use of the K word is, in South African law, it is hate speech. We have also indicated to the court to make a pronouncement and a declaration that it is constitutes harassment. And we have also asked for an order in terms of unfair discrimination. Our law is very clear. Our courts have been very clear on this, and that is why we deemed it urgent enough to approach the court for some relief herein.
Let's speak now to legal analyst Modidima Mannya. Good morning, Mr. Mannya, and thank you so much for your time.
Good morning, Mekumalo, and to your viewers.
Firstly, take us through the merits of the case and what we know so far.
Look, what we know so far is that Mr. Gouws, I think some 6 years ago, made a video and was very brave to upload it, I think, on social platforms, in which he was using the K word, the dreaded K word, and sort of calling for the killing of or elimination of people of my race and color. Now, he is now a member of the DA, a member of parliament, and, because history has no blank pages, the video resurfaces. I understand that he previously removed it, but as you know, somebody would have picked it up and archived it, so it has come back. The original reaction of the DA, as you would have noticed, that they said, look, he has shown remorse and, it's some water under the bridge. He says, look, I was young and immature when I did this thing. But I think things have turned around. The DA has now decided that they think the video is authentic. I don't know why they had thought it was not, but they have suspended him and they are taking action. And we also understand that the Human Rights Commission, South African Human Rights Commission, is also taking legal action.
I think I, like many people out there, feel that a suspension is definitely a slap on the wrist. But given Gouws' position as an MP, his actions surely carry even greater weight and responsibility. He's expected to uphold and embody the principles enshrined in the Constitution, including human dignity, equality, and discrimination. Now, will the sentence that he will receive when he is found guilty, should that not be harsher? Also, does this not constitute grounds for immediate dismissal?
Well, it does. And I mean, I think, Master, we need to characterize this problem properly, because what Gouws has done is no different from what happened at Stellenbosch or at that swimming pool in Bloemfontein, or remember that rude estate agent who was calling police K-word, This is the reality of our situation. And I think we should not be confused that because people don't use the K-word in public, then racism is not perverse in our society. Now, racism is one of the species of a host of discriminatory practices like homophobia, like sexism, like aged people being ill-treated because of their age. So there's a species, a category of prejudiced offenses that we need to deal with. But at the heart of all this are the structural inequalities in our society. I can share with you, Mas Chaba, I studied at the Pretoria University in 1990. I was probably one of the 2 full-time LLB students. I mean, I got used to the K-word being thrown at me. This is over 30 years now later, and I can tell you, the University of Pretoria will not convince me that they are able to deal with racism there. We cannot say we are able to deal with racism in society, and that's why you have this debate about whether things like racism should be criminalized or not. So we have a far bigger problem than Gouws. Gouws is just a microcosm of what we are and who we are.
What are your thoughts on that debate? What are your thoughts on that debate, on criminalizing racism? I mean, 30 years into democracy, surely the sentence should be harsher than just getting community service or being sent to go learn how to live amongst people.
Look, I think we should be intolerant, and any form of harsh punishment on racists and sexists and other form of prejudiced people should be meted out. But I'm not sure whether the total transformation of society and dealing with global structural inequalities. You know, we were told, and we keep on being told, America is the longest sustainable democracy, but we have seen what the Black Lives Matter movement has demonstrated to us. So this is a global problem. So I'm saying we must punish as harsh as possible racists. You know, we have got, for instance, a register of sexual offenders. But we wouldn't have a register of racists. And there are many. I mean, these people that are convicted by courts will go and continue to be estate agents or members of parliament or those kind of things, because we sort of are very accommodative. We have, for instance, political parties that are based on ethnicity and actually racism. We say nothing about it. I mean, we have got an enclave called Orania. That thing is based on racist principles and nothing else. You know, we cannot interpret the Constitution to mean it allows people to do things that are anti the Constitution. So I'm saying, yes, it must be criminalized. We must deal with the structural inequalities that breed this. I mean, Gouws inherited this thing from somewhere, from his parents, from his grandparents, and we know that. And there are younger people than Gouws who propagate racism. And that means, you know, we're going to have jails very full, of course. But I'm saying if we don't deal with the socio-economic issues as well, that breed this. I was in a small town, Master, just 60 km out of Pretoria, and I saw two black gentlemen call a man Bas. That guy didn't even worry that they are calling him Bas. He seemed to be happy to be called Bas. So I'm saying this thing is institutionalized in our society.
Wow. I agree with you there. Thank you so much for your time, and that we really appreciate it. That, of course, was legal analyst Modidima Mannya.